There he is. Mikey T back at the sports book, hard at work, got out of the sun, back in the sports book, and we're rocking and rolling here Tuesday, June 18th, Tuesday night, before the Stanley playoffs kick it off. If you're new to the station, please like and subscribe. In the description, hit the Discord to get you over to our lounge. We'll have a community chat with all the players talking about the sporting issues of the day. And if you're lucky enough and smart enough and determined enough and ready to rock and roll, then you'll hit the parlor and you'll get that 5-star lock that Mikey T's putting out there. 10 wins, 3 losses in the last 13 5-star locks. Those locks don't come around that often. If you noticed, if you got in the Discord in the lounge, we talk about that kind of stuff as we talk about a lot of different issues. Get to the lounge, and then you can make up your mind. It just takes a little click. Get in there and see all the other players and talk about the issues. We got to have every advantage that we can. Here we are. We're going to talk about how to study for these games coming up. How does Mikey T study? Well, depending on the season we're in, we've got a full load of encyclopedia action going on. We don't stop learning. We keep studying. We use a couple different websites. We go into CBS Sports. We get into ESPN Sports. We go over to the Covers website. Any other particular team that we're looking for or a game, we'll go to that specific team's website and learn of any new trends that I might want to know, like an injury or who's not going to play or something like that. Yahoo Sports is a good source. I also tune into the Bleacher Report and get that updated news, live score, flash score. These websites give you the latest up-to-date scores of the matchups that you might be following. It's more centered around the whole world than just one particular state or city or something like that. It's a worldwide score for the worldwide of sports. Mikey T, Michigan's premier sports betting hotline. This is our second broadcast for today. You'd know that. Get into the lounge, hit the Discord. Study, you'll pick up on these trends. Well, how to find these games to pick. Well, finding a game to pick. Who's hot, who's not. That's basically where I start. We want to start with winners. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Teams that are on winning streaks, we want to be following up on who's winning, and then also who's losing. As I mentioned, streaks come to an end. So when you got a winning streak going up against a losing streak, I found it to be more profitable if the circumstances are right to go with that team that's on the losing streak. They tend to right the ship, whereas the winning team tends to get lax and they might drop a game or two. And interconference matchups, I tend to stay away of if they play each other on a regular basis. It gets to be a regular even up match, whereas a team that don't face a team very often or very much or at all, a first time meeting, I tend to take that into consideration also, because each game, each sport, there's going to be a favorite and there's going to be an underdog, and there's going to be a reason why. So I find out what those reasons are, and I try to find equality to balance it out to make that pick, whether I'm taking the dog in the points or I'm taking the favorite on the money line or what have you. You got to learn to research the game. You got to know the game. You got to know the players. You got to know who's in, who's not. Just because a player has a fantastic week doesn't mean he's going to keep having a fantastic week. Same is if he's in a slump, he's not going to stay in a slump forever. So when these teams have got matchups, you got to regulate. You got to know what's going on. You got to be informed. Which game to play? Well, it's which game you want to play. You'll see the matchups. You'll see the odds. You'll see who's playing where and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be your interest. I'm more of a New York Yankee fan, so I'm going to concentrate on my Yankees playing whoever they're playing and my matchups that I find favorable. And you will too. You'll find the teams that you like, and you'll find the matchups that you like favorable, and then you'll get to these pointers that I'm laying out for you. Right, Ben? course. Right, Bernie? You'll learn how to pick confidently. You'll be confident in your picks because you'll have put the time into studying. It ain't like you put a couple hours into studying, and then once you come up with the conclusion, you'll be confident. You'll feel good. You'll be able to put the money out there and not be worried about it because it isn't going to be your bill money or anything like that. We've already got over all that kind of garbage. This is just your gambling fund, your money that you're trying to build up, and we're going to go forward, and you'll feel confident. You're not going to be greedy. You're going to be patient. You're going to be responsible. You're going to know when to say when. You're going to know when to pull the trigger because you will have studied the material. The more you put into this, the more you're going to get out of it, okay? Nothing lasts forever, and then nothing's going to just turn overnight like that. You know, it's a lot of hard work here. It's you got to learn head-to-head coverages when they play everybody, and then they play each other several times. You like to tend to see, hey, they played 3 times over at Boston, and then they won 3 times. Oh, and then they went on the road and they lost. You know, it's common sense. Head-to-head coverages. Who plays good where? The interconference games and the out-of-conference games. I'm just saying, when teams play each other more than 1, 2, 3 times, they tend to get educated in the routine of their opponent, therefore making the matchup a little bit more competitive. We try to find an edge here at the sports book. We want competitive edges based on statistics and mathematical equations. That's what I'm saying. And I get it here. How about this one? Some teams dominate at home. Some teams play better on the road. Funny as that is, some teams, they don't play good at home. They got a better record on the road. So when you're seeing these matchups, this team's playing on the road, they're playing a team that's on a skid, you're going to find those factors that outweigh each other, and it's going to lead you down that path to picking that particular game. Right-handed pitching versus left-handed batting. Left-handed pitching versus right-handed batting. The manager's pretty obvious about it when they make their pitching rotation and then they break their batting lineup. Those managers tend to put that batting lineup together so it favors their team based on that pitching matchup. So some players won't bat against left-handers and some players won't bat against right-handers. It's the pitching matchup against the batting matchup. Righties against lefties, righties against righties, lefties against righties, and lefties against lefties. The managers decide in their mind which is going to be more favorable. As a sports bettor, I'm deciding which must be more favorable. Did you know which team in the MLB hits the best against the left-handed pitching? I do. Did you know which MLB team bats the best against the right-handed pitching? I do. Do you know which MLB team hits the most home runs? I do. Do you know which MLB team strikes out the most? I do. Do you know which team is the best bunting team? I do. Do you know which team can hit and run and does hit and run? I do. Mikey T at the Sportsbook has educated myself on these things in the baseball world. Pitching matchups against hitters and batting matchups against pitchers. Who can steal bases in the MLB? Very, very, very important is to have those first 4 hitters in your lineup. Strong. You want a leadoff hitter that can get on base. Base hits, got a good eye that doesn't strike out, will take a walk, can get on base, and can steal a base. Next thing you know, he's on second. Then our second hitter can get a base hit, get a deep sacrifice, move the runner to third. The next base hit gets a run in. It's common sense. It's strategy. And I got strategies for studying these strategies. What What teams hit the most home runs? Come on, people. Which team strikes out the most, people? Come on. We need to know these things. And when you're taking into consideration which baseball teams play in which baseball team, then those factors tend to come in a little handy. Right versus left and left versus right. All stadiums are different. Some stadiums are pitcher friendly, meaning they're deep, long shots for home runs. Some stadiums are hitter friendly, short, compact, short fences. You know what stadium gives up the most home runs? You know what stadium gives up the least home runs? Mikey T in the Sportsbook does. Did you know which NBA team was the best free throw shooting team? Did you know which NBA team had the best defensive team? Mikey T did. It's not about bragging. It's about studying and educating yourself, people. That's how Mikey Sportsbook works. That's how Mikey Sportsbook gets it going. That's how Mikey Sportsbook is Michigan's premier sports betting hotline with tips, analysis, and predictions. We got Ben Wallace here. We got Bernie Williams here. We've covered on how to study the games to bet. We've covered on how to find a game to pick. We've studied and we've researched games and players. We've learned how to know what games to play. We've learned to pick confidently, study. We've learned to utilize all our resources of our information gathering. Mikey T in the Sportsbook. We give you tips, analysis, and predictions. We talk about these issues in the community lounge, in the Discord. The Discord. Please, if you're not with the Discord, click that link and get into the Discord and get with the rest of the members and learn about the sporting issues and these tips and putting this money in your pocket, getting these winners. It's shameful that these winners are coming by you and you're not capitalizing on them. It's shameful that we have winners on a daily basis here at Mike's Sportsbook and you're not cashing in with them. But you can, and you will, because it's turning around. Panthers tonight, the 5-star lock, baby. Watch it hit. It's gonna go. Yankees tonight, home against Baltimore. My cousin's team, the Mariners from Seattle, are in Cleveland this week to visit. Hopefully it can be a fun visit. Go Mariners. They're on a 3-game winning streak going against the Guardians that is on a 2-game losing streak. Tigers. Come on, Tigers. You're in Atlanta tonight. You're on a 2-game slide. Let's go, Tigers. I told you about winning streaks and losing streaks. KC's on a 1-game losing streak. They're in Oakland tonight. Oakland's dropped 9 in a row, people. 9 in a row. Oakland's got plus 105 money. I'm liking the A's tonight, people. A's tonight. And the last game that I've even paid my attention to is the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Get with it. Let's go, Florida Panthers. Send those Canadians back to Edmonton. Let's close out this 2024 season. Well, thank you for all you people tuning in to Mikey and the Sportsbook tonight, Michigan's premier sports betting hotline. This is how we study, this is how we pick games, and this is how we win. Make that call. Have a nice day. And we'll see you next time. at the Discord, hopefully. That's where you need to be. Pick up on the latest. Get that money in the lounge. Meet some friends.